This week on the New Leadership Normal, team listening, a secret weapon. As a leader, much of what you do is influencing others, many times in a group setting as a presenter. A key component of influence is to listen to your constituents. How do you do that when you're so focused on your presentation, the slides, the room, the message, your voice, how you look, imagining them in their underwear? Don't do that. One audience member is smiling the whole time. One looks like he has gas. Another raises an eyebrow. What's it all mean? You can't easily pay attention to all of these variables well. The designated listener. Designated listeners are team members assigned to closely watch and listen to certain constituents in the meeting for their reaction to specific points. Depending on the size of the meeting audience, you can have as many as 4 to 5 designated listeners. The use of designated listeners has a very practical benefit for any specific meeting, but the process also contributes to some standard leadership goals as well. Let's break this down into 3 segments. First, preparation. In preparation of your presentation, you know to think about each of the specific constituents that will be in the room. You should anticipate the perspectives, concerns, and questions from each important constituent. Your designated listeners can help you with that. Your presentation should address these unique constituent needs in segments of your presentation. Designated listeners can then be assigned to observe these constituents during those segments. The participation of your designated listeners in the development of the presentation does a few things. The opinions of the designated listener are valued. You receive a new perspective on the important constituents. Potential misunderstandings can be clarified ahead of time. The designated listener sees and learns from your thinking process firsthand. Assignment of designated listeners to individual constituents helps organize the presentation and allows the designated listener to learn more about the organization and the players. The second segment, when talking about designated listeners, is the meeting itself, the actual presentation. During the presentation, you can focus on the presentation itself, pivoting as needed, and really connecting with your constituents, knowing that you have team listening in place. The designated listener knows from preparation which areas of the presentation should impact their designated constituent. They look for any reactions during those important times in the presentation. The participation of your designated listeners in the actual presentation does a few things. You have someone there to help with the odds and ends logistics and small emergencies as necessary. You can focus on the presentation. Your designated listeners learn about the constituents and how your area fits within the organization. Your team has a purpose in this critical component of influence and are better prepared for follow-up later. You catch important reactions you can address in future strategy. Thanks for joining me. If you missed us last week, click the video to your right for freedom of speech. Well, I see you Saturday morning. Each Saturday, our special email conversation focuses on you as a leader with a message you won't see anywhere else. Click the link on the top right of your screen or visit jimcanterucci.com. Please join us for more next week on the New Leadership Normal.